In a small village nestled deep within the heart of Nigeria, there lived a young boy named Emeka. Emeka wasn't like the other children. While they played games of hide-and-seek among the baobab trees, Emeka's heart was filled with an insatiable curiosity. He was always asking questions, always exploring, his eyes wide with the wonder of the world around him. His grandmother, a wise woman with lines on her face like a map of the land, would often smile and say, "Emeka, your curiosity will either be your greatest strength or your greatest challenge." One hot afternoon, as the sun beat down and the village settled into a quiet slumber, a sound drifted through the air. It was a faint, rhythmic beat, unlike anything Emeka had ever heard before. It wasn't the sound of the village drummers preparing for a festival, nor was it the pounding of yams for the evening meal. This was different. It was a deep, resonant thrumming that seemed to call to him, pulling at a string deep inside his soul. Boom-da-da, boom-da-da, boom. It was a heartbeat, a whisper, a promise of adventure. Driven by this irresistible sound, Emeka quietly slipped away from his family's compound. He followed the beat as it grew stronger, clearer, leading him away from the familiar dirt paths of his village and towards the edge of the great dark forest. The villagers called it the Forest of Whispers, a place of legend and magic, a place where spirits roamed and the trees held ancient secrets. Children were strictly forbidden from entering, for it was said that those who wandered in were often lost to its enchanting embrace forever. But the drumbeat was a magnet. Emeka's curiosity was the iron filings. Boom, da boom, it seemed to say. "Come, Emeka, come and see." With a deep breath, he pushed aside a large fern leaf and stepped under the dense canopy. Instantly, the world changed. The harsh sunlight was replaced by a soft, dappled green glow. The air was cool and smelled of damp earth and sweet, unknown flowers. Strange, colorful birds flitted between branches, their songs weaving in and out of the constant, hypnotic rhythm of the drum. Emeka walked deeper, his small feet making no sound on the mossy ground. The path seemed to form before him, winding through giant trees with twisted roots that looked like sleeping giants. The further he went, the more magical the forest became. Butterflies with wings like stained glass danced in the air, and mischievous-looking monkeys with long, curious tails peeked out from behind leaves, chattering softly as he passed. And the forest was alive, not with menace, but with a vibrant, pulsating energy that all seemed to revolve around the source of the drumming. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Emeka arrived at a clearing. In the very center, bathed in a single bright shaft of sunlight, sat a drum. It was magnificent. Carved from a dark, shimmering wood he didn't recognize, its surface was etched with intricate patterns of swirling lines and strange symbols. The skins were stretched tight and seemed to pulse with a life of their own, vibrating with the rhythm that had called him here. But there was no one playing it. The drum was beating all by itself. Boom-da-da, boom-da-da, boom. The sound was so powerful now, it resonated through the ground and up into Emeka's bones. He stood there, mesmerized, his heart pounding in time with the magical instrument. He had to touch it. He had to know its secret. Slowly, cautiously, he approached the drum. He reached out a trembling hand. The moment his fingertips brushed against the smooth, vibrating skin, the drumming stopped. Silence. The sudden quiet was more startling than the noise had been. The birds stopped singing. The monkeys stopped chattering. The entire forest seemed to hold its breath. Then, a voice, deep and ancient like the rustling of 1,000 leaves, echoed through the clearing. "Who dares to touch the drum of the ancestors?" Emeka spun around, his eyes wide with fear and wonder. Standing before him was a figure that seemed to be woven from the forest itself. It was a forest spirit, its skin the color of rich bark, its hair a cascade of green vines, and its eyes glowing with a soft golden light. It was tall and powerful, yet its presence felt more wise than threatening. Emeka, though terrified, found his voice. I am Emeka," he stammered. "I heard the drum. It called to me." The forest spirit studied him for a long moment, its gaze seeming to look right into Emeka's soul. "Curiosity is a powerful river, young one. It can lead to great discoveries, but it can also lead one to be swept away by the current. This drum is not for mortals to touch. It plays the heartbeat of the forest, a rhythm that keeps the balance between the world of humans and the world of spirits. Emeka looked at the silent drum, then back at the spirit. "I am sorry," he said, his voice small but sincere. "I did not mean to cause any harm. I was just so curious." The spirit's expression softened. "I can see that. Your heart is pure, Emeka. You did not come with greed or malice, only with a thirst for knowledge. That is a rare and precious thing." The spirit gestured towards the drum. "The balance has been broken. The heartbeat has stopped. Only the one who silenced it can restart it. But it requires more than just a simple touch. It requires a gift." "A gift?" Emeka asked, looking down at his empty hands. "I have nothing to give you." "Everyone has a gift to give," the spirit replied gently. "The finest gifts come not from the hands, but from the heart. You must give the forest a piece of your wonder, a story, a song, memory of pure joy. Infuse the drum with your spirit and it will beat again." Emeka thought for a moment. He thought of his grandmother's stories, of the taste of ripe mangoes on a sunny day, of the feeling of laughter bubbling up inside him when playing with his friends. He decided on his favorite memory, the Festival of New Yams, a time of immense joy, dancing, and community. He closed his eyes, placed both hands firmly on the drum, and poured all his feelings of happiness and celebration into it. He pictured the dancers, their feet stomping the earth in unison. He heard the joyous shouts of his friends and the proud songs of the elders. He felt the warmth of the celebratory bonfire on his skin. Slowly a faint thrumming began. It was soft at first, a mere whisper. Thump, thump. Then, as Emeka focused harder, pouring more of his joyful memory into the wood and skin, the beat grew stronger. Boom, da-da-boom. The rhythm returned, fuller and richer than before, now infused with the youthful, joyous energy of Emeka's spirit. The forest exhaled. The birds began to sing their complex melodies once more. The monkeys chattered with renewed vigor, and the leaves rustled in a gentle, sighing breeze. The balance was restored. The forest spirit smiled, a radiant, warm expression. "You have done well, Emeka. You have learned a valuable lesson today. Curiosity must be paired with respect. To explore is good, but to understand and preserve is better." As a reward for his pure heart and for restoring the forest's heartbeat, the spirit gave Emeka a small, smooth seed. "Plant this outside your home," the spirit instructed. "It will grow into a tree that bears the sweetest fruit you have ever tasted. And its leaves will whisper stories of the forest to you whenever the wind blows. It will be a reminder of your journey, a bridge between your world and ours." The spirit then gently guided Emeka back to the winding path. As he walked away, the sound of the drum followed him, no longer an irresistible call, but a friendly, rhythmic farewell. He emerged from the forest just as the sun was setting, casting long shadows across the village. No one had even noticed he was gone. He planted the seed as the spirit had instructed, and by morning, a small, vibrant sapling had already sprouted. The tree grew faster than any other, and soon it bore magnificent, sweet fruit that he shared with everyone in his village. Emeka never lost his curiosity, but it was now tempered with wisdom and respect. He grew up to be a great storyteller, sharing tales of wonder and caution. And sometimes, on a quiet night, if he stood by his special tree and listened very carefully, he could still hear it, faint and far away, the magical, mysterious heartbeat of the forest. Boom, da, boom. Thanks so much for watching our story today. If you enjoyed this journey into Nigerian folklore, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more tales from around the world. We'll see you next time.